Hey everybody, Joe Misfit Glenn here. I'm with Anthony from lowcough.net. Everything good, Anthony? You hear me okay, brother? Can you hear me, Anthony? All right, give me a second, y'all. Mute, unmute, mute. How about now? Nothing? Well, shoot.
Should I leave and come back?
There you go. I got you, dog. I hear you now. Okay, we're good. Oh, hold on. Let's get this going again. Sorry, y'all. Give me 1 sec. Okay. All right. Link sent. Okay, y'all. Give me 1 sec. Let's get to the comments. See what's up. What's up, Joe? Welcome. Okay, there's Anthony back in. How about now, Anthony? You hear me?
I hear you now. Beautiful.
All right, brother. We good. What's up, Brian? It was that worked out perfectly. We're just waiting on a few folks. We got about 6 in. So you know what? Let's get started.
Okay.
Everybody, thank you for showing up tonight. I'm here with Anthony from lowcough.net. He's about to talk to us about their equipment that they got going on. They have some really cool shit, if I'm honest, guys. So Anthony, go ahead and introduce yourself, man. Tell me where your passion comes from for making these really bitchin' devices, man.
Yeah, I'm Anthony. I used to be known as Senior Stoner on Facebook. I'm now Anthony Laurie, back to my real name again. And basically, my passion is manufacturing these units. These units are called smoke freezers. And basically what it does is it takes that hot smoke and actually run it through a chamber, and it gets cooled down to just below room temperature. Okay. This is active cooling. There's no water. It's all about electronic cooling. Okay, so the chamber gets anywhere between -20 to -30 degrees Celsius. Okay, some even colder than that. Okay, but it needs to be that cold in order to make that smoke get down to the temperature that we need it so it can be bearable. Okay, once the smoke is cooled, then it goes through 2 sets of filters. It goes through a tar buster, which is a carbon charcoal filter. Okay. And there's only one way for the smoke path to go. It's got to go around the charcoal filter. And once it goes into the charcoal filter, then it goes into one of these, which is a mouthpiece. And inside the mouthpiece there is a cotton ball. That's the final filtering on the device. And that takes away a lot of the cough also. Whatever a residual that doesn't get caught by the tar buster gets caught by this cotton ball. And when we're done with this session, I'm going to pull it out and I'm going to show you what could have ended up in your lungs that ends up on the cotton ball instead.
Okay, I feel that because I mean I've seen my utensils are all resiny and black and tarry, and it's kind of a pain in the butt to clean up. And so basically, you're keeping all that stuff out of our lungs, right? Right,
and that's all that stuff makes you cough. And what it does is it aggravates your throat, it aggravates your breathing. So basically what this pipe has done is we took the cough away. We took all of the nasty away. And what we left with is just an enjoyable experience. And unless you actually try this unit, I can talk about it till I'm blue in the face, and I have. But until you try it, you first person, you're going to be like, dude, this is the best thing since sliced bread. And it is. Because now you don't have any more anxiety about smoking with your sessions, about going, oh yeah, I know I'm gonna get high tonight. I'm gonna get medicated, but I gotta go through this coughing ritual. I gotta, have all these boogers and snots coming down on my nose and everything. And it's just a more sophisticated way of smoking. Okay. It's a better way. It is a cleaner way. Okay. And people say, well, I got this vaporizer and all of that. Well, the way that this device works, it works better than a vaporizer, but it doesn't heat. It burns. Okay. It will burn right through it. And that's the only way you get the full spectrum of the bud is when you do a complete burn. Okay. Otherwise, you're not getting every single one of those terpenes, and you're not getting rid of all of the THC that you really need without the full burn. Okay. And based on some of these vaporizers with a double tar buster, that's what I use. That's what I'll show you guys in a little bit. It's actually cleaner than a Volcano with full combustion. It's cleaner. You will not cough. I've seen guys cough, and you got to go through the things with the big bag. Not to talk bad about any other device, but it's more cumbersome than this is. This is really easy. The cleaning is ridiculous. It's just using isopropyl alcohol, putting it down into the inlet, shaking it up, and dumping it out. That's it, just like a regular bong.
So
you don't have to worry about cleaning glass or anything like that.
I have a question for you, and this is a solid ass question because you talked about a charcoal filter. Now,
yes.
Does the charcoal filter, does that get rid of taste or smells? Because
absolutely not.
Okay, and so can you explain that a little bit? Because like if we have a charcoal filter in our tents, right, and we want to keep the smell from getting around, and be all quiet about it, that's what they do is they take away the smells. And so explain to me how it doesn't affect that. It just takes away the impurities.
The difference is this is a lot smaller. And what this does is you will get a reduced smell, okay? But you're not going to get you're going to still smell it, okay? Because it's going to be burning outside. But as far as the taste goes, by the time that this smoke gets to the filters, it's already in gaseous form. So you're getting all of the taste, you're getting all of the flavor is all passing through. So by the time it gets there, it's gaseous. So you don't have to worry about it. Hey, when people do dabs on this thing here, all I hear is, bro, all I get is terpenes and flavor. And that is what you want, right? You want to be, if you have a blueberry, you want to taste blueberries, right? If you get this other thing that's supposed to be tropical fruit, you want to taste the tropical fruit.
Sure,
you want to taste whatever strain that it is that you're doing. And it's a lot of flavor. And, a lot of the wives' tales, a lot of the things like, oh, man, if you don't cough, you don't get off. No, all you're basically doing is that you're asphyxiating yourself. That's all you're doing. Yeah.
A lot of those old school dudes, right, that say you got to cough to get off.
Right.
I have come to the realization that a lot of these people had not so good flour.
Yeah.
Right. That made you cough. And when you coughed, you got this head high because, well, the lack of oxygen. All right. The stress in your chest.
Yep.
And then you get lightheaded. But everybody thinks it's a high. Now, I can't really go 100% on that, but that's the way I feel.
Yes.
And so by not cough, the flour that I grow, I don't cough on it because it's pure, right? It doesn't have all these non-scent chemicals in it that are going to hurt my chest that the plant didn't need to begin with. And so to have an extra filtration system with me, I have my family is predisposed to COPD. I don't smoke cigarettes, but I did back when I was 20, and I got pneumonia 6 times within 1 year time.
Wow.
I quit smoking, but now I have scars all over my lungs. I was a good runner, and so I was able to keep my lung capacity, but I still have trouble in humidities and stuff like that because of the burning barrel thing, that is in the military is a real big deal right now. Yeah, I burned a lot of shit, and I'm sure a lot of these folks did too. In Afghanistan, it was a way to keep warm, to be honest with you. But now we have breathing issues, and this could be a really good way to get away from it and still be medicated.
I've had clients that have come back to me and say, dude, I've had pneumonia and I was able to smoke with your device with pneumonia.
Yeah.
So I know that it's doing something good. I want to pass this around to to our brother veterans and everything, because it's a device that's going to change the way you smoke. It's going to, and basically this is pretty much the last pipe you would need to buy. And why do I say that? Because you could always change the chassis on it. You could always have updates done to it. You can upgrade to a bigger pipe if you wanted to. So you always, and that's the whole thing. You send it in after a year. Send it in, hey, you know what? I think it's time to get it refurbed. I don't think it's working as it did when it was brand new. So our basic costs are about $100 to do the upgrade, the chassis swap and to do the any kind of upgrades.
Wow. Okay. So you buy a setup, and in a year's time, you're like a little bit tired of how it looks or it's worn out.
Right.
I send you back a piece.
Send me back just the pipe. Keep all the attachments, and I send you back a brand new pipe.
Brand new pipe.
Yeah, with a new chassis. All the guts are inside. Are all cleaned. They're calculated. They're all the voltages are set and everything, and we do a stress test on it, and then I send it back.
Okay. Cool. That's
kind of a
little deal.
Yeah, before anybody gets a pipe, I do all the testing for it. I stress test it. I run it for a couple of hours. I make sure that it's when you get it, it's working and it's going to get the temperature. And in order to prove that, when it gets the temperature, I take a picture of it all set up. And then what I do is when I disassemble it and pack it, you get a picture of the packed box. So you see everything that's in your box. You see that everything was well packed. So that eliminates all the things like, oh, dude, it's not working. It came all broken or whatever. That's not going to happen. Okay. When I send it out, it gets sent out with insurance. It gets sent out with, priority mail. So we do it right.
So tell me a little background about this whole lowcough.net. And now I understand that this product was out there, but wasn't being sold, and you kind of took it over and started making this happen for everybody to share this beautiful product. Yeah.
Yes. Basically what we did was, I went a step further because I didn't invent the pipe. Okay. I helped develop it, tested it. And then I went on a different path as far as I went to the low cough, as far as developing the filters for it, including the ash catchers, including the bowls, the bangers, and the vape attachment. Because with this pipe, you can do three things. You can do the flower, you can do concentrates, and it can do vapes. Because I had this little handy, that everybody gets one when they buy one. This is a vape pen adapter. Okay, it's a 5-pin adapter. So what happens is you're going to use your vape pen, right? And your vape pen will just go right into here like this. And then from in here, it gets you put it right into the pipe. Boom.
Wow. And then you just hit it normally, like right at the mouthpiece.
Yeah, you'll press the button and start sucking on it, and believe me, in less than 2 minutes you're gonna be on the moon. Because what it does is, due to Boyle's law, when the gas comes in through the pipe and gets cold, it compresses. So you're getting a much concentrated hit. And sometimes people, when they say, dude, I don't feel like I'm getting anything, I say, okay, hold off and wait 2 minutes. The guy waits 2 minutes, like, dude, I can't handle this anymore.
Yeah. Hell
So,
yeah. Hey,
it's deceiving.
Another thing, Anthony, now I know that in vet codes alone, and I know Sea of Greens is involved too. Tell me about some folks that are personally involved with your equipment that perhaps our veterans can reach out to on a different level and get an honest opinion.
Oh yeah. I know Scott Esser has one. Anthony Sanfilippo's got one.
Okay.
Also, Jason Boswell has one. Nick Craven, yeah, they both use theirs in the Sea of Green Seeds. Top seed company.
Here, as a matter of fact, Sea of Green Seeds use Tech Pipe, and we personally love it.
Yes.
So yeah, that's why I was like, hey man, there's people out here that have them, and I don't believe Anthony's word 100%, man. Go talk to these people.
Don't take my word for it.
I know these people love them. I've heard it, and that's why Anthony's on here talking about this beautiful stuff, man.
Yeah, actually, Jason and Nick had their pipe for over a year already, and they use it almost on a daily basis. As long as you're running ISO through it and you're keeping it clean, it's gonna last. And if it doesn't last, how about this? If it doesn't last, I'm gonna fix it.
Hell yeah!
As long as you're cleaning it, and you're taking care of it, and something happens to it, I stand behind it.
Hell yeah, that's what's up, man. I appreciate it.
And there's no other company that's gonna do that for you. There's no other idiot that's gonna sit there and fix your pipe for free.
Well, like Nick from Sea of Green, he was the one that gave me your name, and got me in contact with you because he was so into your product. But you know what? Speaking of products, man, let's get into a couple of them. You got well, I know you have several, so maybe let's hear about them.
Well, I'm going to show you that this is what the smoke freezer looks like right now. Let's see, here we go. So this is where we're at.
So here's some bagpipe music on that, bro.
Yeah, this is at negative 34 degrees Celsius right now.
All right.
Okay, I got my flour. I got all my flowers already set up over here in my bowl holders here. So you can see that bowl holder. Okay.
I see you.
And I got this here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna keep talking while I'm smoking to you. So just to show you that I'm not coughing while we're talking.
Okay, cool. And now I expect when you have some concentrate or something, cough is to be expected with that.
You're gonna cough. You're gonna cough.
Yeah.
When you do concentrates, there's no way getting around the cough because it's just so fine that you're not gonna catch everything.
Yeah.
But you're not gonna die.
No,
you're not gonna die.
Yeah.
You'll cough a little bit. You'll have or maybe a little cough, but you're not going to go into like a coughing spasm or a coughing
you ain't gonna be slobbering.
Exactly. Exactly. You'll be ready for it. You'll recover pretty quick from it, and then you can just keep going.
Hell yeah! I've coughed so hard that I made myself gag and throw up. But yeah, I'm sure everybody else has because these guys take big rippers, man. They sure do.
All I do is take these big rips, and I'm not coughing. See?
Nice.
And
that's what's up.
I use 2 tar busters on this.
2, okay.
Because I have a touch of asthma, so that's why I use 2. and I never have to worry about, coughing. If I do cough a little bit, a tickle on the back of my throat, you get
Sure.
that's it.
Yeah. Just a little bit of clear. That's awesome.
A little
man.
bit of clear. When you get the little bit of phlegm on the top of your lung, that's all you're doing is you're getting rid of that. That's all it is.
And
But-
not to mention, with all the flower that's out there, all the cannabis that's out on the market today, you can't always trust it. And a lot of these people, well, it's not necessarily medical grade, right? And so medical grade would be completely pure, in my opinion. And a lot of this stuff isn't. And it will hurt you. It hurts you, if you smoke a bunch of it. Some of these people got to smoke an eighth just to get high. I'm not that guy, but nonetheless, I've smoked, 2 joints and had a sore throat, because maybe there was too many nutrients left in the plant or whatever reason it may be. But as far as that is concerned, man, this is a beautiful thing, especially the stuff that's out on the market right now. This will clean it up.
Yep.
Hey, go ahead.
Like I said, I love it. I've been using. This is all I use. I'm not just on here to sell pipes. I don't just sell pipes. I'm looking to help people. First and foremost, if you haven't seen breathing issues, I want to get this to the hands of veterans because smoking is the cheapest form, pretty much, of medicating. And a lot of people not do that. I even know people who grow and said, "Dude, I take edibles because I can't stand the cough."
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I do a little bit of everything.
Exactly.
In different aspects. Like at night, it's all edibles. During the day, a little bit of pop here, pop there,
right?
Just to even myself out. But as far as really getting medicated, it's edible for me. But hey, let's talk about the medical aspect of cooling this kind of stuff down and filtering it and whatnot. So it's obvious that impurities going into your lung could cause infections, could make you cough, could make it a stressful environment in your lung system. That's no bueno, right?
Right.
So what else could it be if you're filtering out all the impurities and cooling down the heat, because heat is not good for your lungs?
Yep.
What other kind of medical aspects could it have, or is there anything otherwise that it could prevent or help with?
Basically, a lot of my clients have either breathing issues, they don't like to cough. Some people, I have a couple of people who even have half a lung and have lung cancer. Some people have other breathing issues that, listen, I can't really get, my throat can't get that hot because when it does, I go into spasm. So you don't get the heat. When you're sucking on this thing, you don't get the heat on the back of your throat. So you really got to watch the ash catcher and how much how much you're using. Okay. Because if you don't, then you're going to be, overwhelmed with the smoke and you'll probably end up coughing. But if you watch this and you know your limit about how much you need to take, you'll take that. You saw me. I took a couple of big rips on it. I'm done with this bowl already. Did I?
Yeah. No coughs, man. I seen that.
Nope.
That's what's up.
None. I talked throughout the whole thing. Mm-hmm. And this is what I preach to the people is that, it's first person. That's why we call it low cough. We don't call it no cough because, depending on what your situation is, I can't make everybody, dude, I coughed. Give me my money back. This is going to reduce the cough heavily to the point where it's almost non-existent. Yeah, you saw me. And if you would, I can't smoke out of a regular bong. If I do, you would see me. I'd come in with the sweats,
sure.
lose my mind,
Right. Yeah. And matter of fact, Cade was talking about, coughing causes them headaches.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm sure that he's not alone in that. But yeah, so good on the medical aspects, man. It just keeps you from coughing too hard, hurting your lungs, especially with COPD,
right?
With emphysema, with asthma, which I don't have emphysema, but I am, like I said, predisposed to COPD, and I have stress-induced asthma. But yeah, I think this would be a really good fit.
Yep. Now the devices are 3D printed, so people are going to come back and say, "Well, isn't the heat going to cause the plastic and cause toxic fumes and you're going to die?" No, because when you look at this, the way I have the attachment set up, it's a glass-to-glass attachment. So that's why I put the ash catcher in. Secondly, by the time the smoke enters the pipe, it's already cooled. The ash catcher will knock it down enough that it's not going to burn through any kind of plastic or anything like that.
Right.
Okay? And also with the glass is an insulator. It's going to it'll keep the heat in. Okay, so you can light this bowl up, right? I can light it up and hold it in my hand, and I won't get burned.
Okay.
It's not going to conduct heat. Okay, so basically, all those wives' tales are already addressed. There is nothing wrong with smoking out of this. It's perfectly safe. And we're making even better improvements on this, on the type of plastic that we're using. In the next couple of months, we're going to be moving towards nylon, carbon fiber nylon. Yeah, and that really is going to put us step above, and it's going to be a little bit more tolerant to other heats, any kind of torch thing. There's one guy left it in his car, and it warped on him. I'm like, well, it's 100 and some odd degrees in the car. You don't leave a pipe like this in your car, right? But yeah, that's pretty much in the mishaps. But you know what? The guy sent me his pipe back, and I covered him. And I don't give anybody a hard time when it comes to that. As long as you're cleaning it and you're doing the right thing, because I can tell when I open up the pipe and I take out your heat sink and I look at your thermistor, and it's all filled with resin and it looks like you never cleaned it. Right. Then unfortunately I'm gonna have to charge a little bit more, but nothing to the extreme of it's not gonna ever exceed $100.
Sure, got you. So I was on your Facebook page and you mentioned the lady with the half a lung. There's a testimonial on your website, and guys, don't forget to check out the ticker below, lowcough.net. Go in there and listen to this testimonial, man. It's pretty slick. But tell me about your other devices. I know you had, I think I've seen like 5 or 6 different types of devices.
Correct. So we have 5 models. Okay. We have the, what I'm smoking out of is called the Nectar processor. Then there's the Mega Bowl, and then there's the Stealth. Those are the 3 single pipes. Okay. Then we have the double pipes, which is the engine, which looks like an engine. That one has got 2 chambers, but it does parallel cooling. So the smoke enters both chambers at the same time. So if you have a big party, if you have a lot of people that want to use it, I recommend getting the engine. Like if you party with 2-3 people, go with the engine, because you're not going to get any kind of temperature fluctuations. It doesn't take long for the temperature to dip and then come back. But this stays at a constant cold, right? Then you have the XB1, which is a dual stage cooling. So it goes through the first chamber, gets knocked down cold, then goes through the second chamber, gets even colder. That pipe is the coldest pipe on the planet when you're smoking that, when you're smoking with it.
Okay.
That when you touch your tar buster with it, it's cold. Right. It's cold. It's cold when you touch it, it's cold.
Well, I live in Oklahoma and I'm good with cold, bro.
But that was the thing, people, when people were when I first had this thing out, and people were like, well, negative 33 degrees Celsius is very cold. It'll hurt your lungs. Yeah, but the air coming out, the smoke coming out is not 33 degrees Celsius. That's just the temperature inside the chamber.
Yeah.
Right.
And so it basically knocks the smoke temperature down, what goes into your lungs, to about 60 degrees Fahrenheit, correct, right?
Yes.
Okay. So less than room temperature, and it's a really good cool feel on your lungs. I assume.
It is. And nice. And when you feel that nice cool smoke and you get that flavor in it, there's nothing like it. I mean, maybe I had one of our veterans buddies in another group. He goes, Ben, you know what I did? I said, what'd you do? He goes, I used that vape pen adapter and I put a cigarette to it. Man, it was the tastiest cigarette I ever had in my life.
That's funny.
Yeah.
So, okay, man, I got a question from Ashy Larry.
Okay.
So he's saying that there were some issues that people were having with your pipes, and have you fixed it?
What issues?
Yeah, Ashy. So tell me what issue, brother, and I can bring that up, man, and we'll see what happened with that. Okay. But anyway,
but just to clarify that, everybody goes away happy. There's not. Sure, I don't let anybody go away angry, disappointed, or whatnot. When they leave me, they're happy.
That's customer service, my man. Yes, absolutely. Yep. And so I'll wait on Ashley to get back, and I'll get back with you on that. But I wanted to kind of go back a little bit, and I was asking about your passion behind this and what you were trying to accomplish. And I know what that is because we spoke already, but I think everybody else kind of needs to know what that is too. And so tell me about your passions and why the hell you're doing this, man.
Why I'm doing this, a lot of it, well, I don't really tell anybody this, but since you asked that question, I lost my son in 2020, and he was an Army vet also. He lost his battle with addiction, and, there's nothing I could have done about it. I couldn't help him. I wanted to. I wasn't there when he passed. I couldn't help him at all. And I'm like, I got to help other people who are in this, to get them off opioids, to get them off of this. how can I do it? And I saw this an opportunity to use my engineering skills, to use my military service skills in electronics. And that's why I do what I do. That's why I'm passionate what I do. And this is what I love to do. I love helping people. If one guy can go away and say, you know what, this guy helped me, I'm happy.
Well, God bless you for that, man. I appreciate you for that.
Thank you.
I'm sorry about your son, my man.
Yep.
But I have some similar stories, not my son's, of course, but which makes it a little bit more deep. But I have the same similar stories, and that's kind of the idea why I'm out here trying to help too, especially with opioids, narcotics, all these different things that are out here, man. We need to get people off of this shit. It's killing us.
And even some pharmaceuticals. I'm a testimonial to some of the pharmaceuticals. Back in February, I went to the doctor and he's like, your blood pressure's a little high. Let me give you some medication. I'm like, I'm on RSO and I'm on marijuana. You probably just caught me on a bad cycle. He's like, no, I want you to stop that for a little while and go on to this. I gained 15 pounds in like 4 weeks.
Yep. And
I you know what? I don't need this. I got off of it and I'm back down I'm like 5 pounds away from my weight that I was before. But it takes a toll on your body when your body's used to the THC in the RSO form or the fecal form that what I was taking at night for my pressure. And then, at night, like around this time is when I start medicating, my blood pressure goes right down. Everything goes back to normal again without the pharmaceuticals, without it's a plant that's coming out of the ground, for God's sakes, right?
Yeah,
there's nothing. Yeah.
For me, I have a story about narcotics and opioids, man. And, through the VA, I was on them for like 15 plus years, damn near killed me. And I was on a lot of them. Got opioid and narcotic bowel syndrome. I lose weight. Like I could lose 3-4 pounds a day if I don't eat enough. Literally, right. It's a big old problem. And so those kind of things is why I had to get off the medication. The VA wasn't telling me to get off. A civilian doctor said, hey, the only way you're going to live is if you quit. Me being a medic, I was able to wean myself off by myself, not the VA's help.
Right.
And so anyway, I got safe, man, and I got healthy again, and I started with cannabis. And then I was on stomach meds because of my opioid and narcotic bowel syndrome.
Wow.
Right? Mm-hmm. So I was on for another 4 or 5 years. Well, it turns out the long-term use of these stomach meds were killing me again. I got back down to 130 pounds. And almost, I was getting down into the 120s where it's detrimental.
Oh my God.
I had to stop all them. I take 0 pills anymore, not even the ones to maintain my stomach issues. I use cannabis, cannabis only.
I'm the same way. Yeah. And you know what? I'd rather trust a plant than trust a doctor at this point.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Okay. And so back on to the point. He was talking about fittings and portability with this machine.
Okay. As far as the fittings, I don't remember any issues with the fittings, but what I did was we tackled that. Give me 1 second.
Okay, cool. I'll go through this and say what's up, everybody. Jeremy, I see you. Senior, I see you. Yep. Stanley Senior, Scott, what's up, brother? Chris, thank you for showing up, my man. Ashy, we're about to address your question.
Yep.
I see a couple of Facebook users, my guys, and so and girls. But either way, okay, here we go.
Okay, so this is the connection that we used to have, that the ash catcher used to go directly into the plastic. Well, what I decided to do was, now we had this adapter. This adapter comes installed on all the pipes, and now you have a glass-to-glass connection. This piece here, never needs to get removed. Same thing with this piece. This glass piece never needs to get removed. You clean it in place. You clean it with the pipe and everything in it. You take everything else off. You can even leave this plastic in. You're going to take off your 2 tar busters. You take off your mouthpiece, and you clean it in place just like that. But yeah, this addressed it. Now all the connections that you have are glass to glass. They're not glass to plastic. So if that's what you're referring to, yeah, that's already been addressed. I tackled that right away.
Yeah, and as far as Ashley, as far as portability, brother, I think you're going to have to kind of just put it where it is, brother.
Well, we have a battery. We're working on a battery powered one, but the thing is that we can't get the constant current to last. The battery's lasting that long. You can get the current flow because we need close to 8 amps. So this thing draws a lot. It's not a toy. It'll draw. So the battery, that we have to work around that.
So tell me about your accessories, my man.
Yeah. So about the accessories, what we have is we have we even invented a blower. Okay, that one machine has a blower built in, and we have an external blower that you can use with any pipe, any smoke freezer. I don't want to say any pipe, any smoke freezer. And all you do is it's got an on-off button. You'll turn it on, light your bud, sit back and breathe. You don't have to worry. Better than a gravity bong, because you could turn it off and the smoke won't go stale.
Nice, man.
Yeah, so that's one thing that
I've always wanted a gravity bong, just because I thought they were cool as shit, but never could afford them, man.
Yeah.
That is.
So another thing that I'm proud of is that I make these. These are bowl holders, right? So
yes.
this will hold all your bud. This will hold all your glass that you need to, and you won't have to worry about breaking it. You can load, you can unload as you use them. They're there. Listen, when you're putting them on the table, whatever, something always happens to them. And then there it goes, you buy a decent bowl, it's going to cost you $20-25, right? And, your heart goes down to your wallet when that happens. You're like, damn, I can't believe I broke another bowl. So for a small fee, for a small price, you can get the bowl holder. Now, some people I've done work for is I make the bowl holders to what you like. Okay, so if you tell me, listen, man, during the day I'm a plumber. Okay, so I'll make you a bowl holder with a big toilet on it or something. Okay, or a big or a pipe wrench or something like that. I made them. I made a Top Gun one with an airplane. Anything where whoever's into anything, let me know. And that's I just do that as a service. I don't even charge for it.
I saw the EOD symbol, and it said EOD with lettering on it. And now, are those plastic or aluminum or?
No, they're plastic. They're all plastic. Yep.
Yeah, man.
Same like the pipe.
So you can customize the shit out of them. Huh?
Exactly. Yeah, we and a lot of times, like if somebody's buying like multiple things from me, like if they just buy the pipe, I normally don't include them, but I'll give them a discount on one, right? On the first order. Like if they're ordering a pipe and say, dude, give me a bowl holder, I'll probably charge them half price for it. But right, I don't hit somebody over the head. I appreciate that they're getting a smoke freezer to begin with, right?
Sure.
And and then that's what we have now. The second accessory that we have, which I was telling you, is this is a vape pen adapter. These all come with the smoke freezer, and we also sell them separately. This you could use with a 14 millimeter or an 18 millimeter. Fits both. So if you have a regular bong that you want to use this with, if you don't want to pull out your smoke freezer, if you just want to cut down the smoke a little bit, you could use these with any kind of 14 or 18 millimeter connection.
Okay, cool.
Yep.
Man, that fit in my bong, actually.
Yes, it will.
Oh yeah.
We also make we have the bowl holders. We have dab stations. Okay, so place to keep your torch, a place to keep your fire dabs, right? Your product, place to keep your picks. Always something that's going on that we try to make nice.
Sure, absolutely, man. Awesome. That's pretty. Hey, and that vape pen thing, right? That you had the attachment. You can also put a joint in that, right?
Yes. Okay. I think I went through that today. Somebody had asked me, say, hey, can I stick a joint in there? Well, that's the hole for it, right? So you're going to squeeze it down. You put your cone right in there, let go, and put it into your pipe, and you don't need a bowl. You can put it right into your ash catcher. If you're short a bowl, or hey, I don't have a bowl around, it's something that you could use with it.
So any method of smoking is facilitated through this equipment?
Yes. Yeah, we don't discriminate.
That's pretty bitchin', bro. Pretty bitchin'.
Yeah. So, and one of the other accessories that I have on there for the people who want to be adventurous and dangerous, we have a V connection, and that actually it's a Y connection. So that Y connection in a single inlet can do 2 bowls at the same time. So you could have 2 ash catchers and 2 bowls, or you could have 1 ash catcher and 2 bowls, depending on where you want to put the Y.
All right.
And I could finish them with the same type of non-cork that I finish with everything else. That's how I used to do my lives. When I was doing my own lives, I would do that. So if you have COPD, don't you think that you're not going to cough? If I'm doing 2 at once and I'm not coughing, you with COPD with 1, I'm definitely not going to cough.
Right. Hell yeah, man. That's pretty bitchin'.
Yeah. And then everybody gets the mouthpiece, like I said. And then that was I smoked that 1 big bowl, but you could take a look on how dirty that is.
Oh,
See that? You
I
see
see
that?
all that resin. Yeah,
So
for
that
sure,
resin,
man.
that's one bowl that would have
Hell
ended
yeah.
up in my lungs and would have let the snot come out of my nose.
All right, man. So with all that being said, man, you have a discount for anybody through the Vet Codes group? Do you have a veterans
Yes,
discount for them?
yes, the vet codes group. If you use code vet codes, you get 15% off. Same thing if you use Sea of Green Seeds for those people who are on Sea of Green Seeds also.
Okay,
Same
cool.
discount, same exact discount because we're one and the same, right? If you're
Right.
part of the vet codes and you're
Hey,
part of Sea of Green Seeds, it's military
yeah,
run. So
we
to me,
all
it's the same.
veterans, man. We all
Yep,
veterans here, and we need to
all
show the
good
love
people
to
stick
all
together.
vets. Yeah, for sure, man. And so Anthony, tell me about some prices, man. So everybody can kind of get an idea on what they need to be having.
The retail price on these starts at $349.99, and that's a full kit.
Okay.
So you'll get any of the smaller units, the single units, the Nectar processor, the Mega Bowl, or the Stealth. You get that for $349 with the full kit, okay, plus shipping. But what I do for you guys is when you guys you guys have the 15% off, it comes to a lot less than that, okay. The bigger units are the XB1 is $449, and the engine is $499. And the difference between why is the engine a little bit more, it looks a little bit smaller than the XB1 is, it's more difficult to assemble, it's more difficult to wire, so it takes a lot more time to put together, and that's the only reason why. Yeah,
I feel that. Okay, cool. And so those aren't like terrible. I mean, as far as the medical, for your lungs and stuff, if you're serious about medicinal marijuana, it may be worth,
it's an investment. The way I see it, have to look at it as an investment. You cannot look at it as, hey, I just bought another bong, I wasted my money, whatever. It works the same way as the 90 other bongs that you have, right?
Yeah.
So, but this one here, okay, like I said before, was the last pipe you got to buy because it could be upgraded, it could be repaired, it could be, if you don't like the color, we could chassis swap, right? That makes a big difference. When you have something that can be repaired, like a new car with a new car warranty. That's what you basically have, and you probably have, a manufacturer that's willing to stand behind it and change the body for you at will. Okay.
Yeah, I feel that,
and that's what the difference is.
So with me, I can get down with the investment portion, being that this is my life and I have to medicate. I would rather medicate efficiently for me, and so I'll more than likely end up getting after this eventually. I'll save my pennies and make this happen for myself,
Right.
But I also enjoy the fact that your warranty kind of a deal where you're going to take care of us, man, and so you do that one-time deal, and I'm going to take care of you through the life of that product, and I appreciate that.
Yep.
It's pretty badass.
And there's no other, and that's the thing, there's no other company that does that they're not so confident on their product that, to them, it's a business. To me, it's a little bit, it's a business, but to me, it's more of, I'd rather see people help first and have the business come afterwards.
Yeah.
This to me is helping out the brothers. That's all, brothers and sisters. That's what I'm looking out for.
So real quick question, which I'm sure this is a yes. John Michael Stanley Sr. was asking if you could use distillate in it. And
yes. That's of course, yes.
Yeah.
Inside with the distillate, you can use any kind of concentrate. You can use wax, you can use sugar, you can use diamonds, you can use sauce, whatever you can put in your banger and smoke out of any other pipe, you can smoke with this.
Got you. And now, so up on top, when you have your bowl, do you use a lighter, or is there a burner that makes it happen?
I use a torch.
Okay, so you just light it up like a normal bong, if you will, and then it takes it from there.
Correct.
As you suck in, it cools everything down just like a regular bong.
Yep.
Is there a forced air thing to it?
No. You'll see it stay lit because there is some sort of it's a with the fans and the cooling, it does absorb a little bit. So it will pull a little bit, not much, but it'll keep your bud lit. Enough to keep your bud lit.
Joe Schroner was saying that he had one, and he was talking about an air assist. I was just
that's the blower. That's the blower. We call it a pull assist.
Okay. So and so anyway, so there's that. Cool. That's pretty slick.
Yeah, Joe was one of the. Joe had his pipe last year. We gave him a pipe, and Joe's got COPD, asthma, and everything you can throw at it.
Yes, he
and he
does.
smokes with it, and you know he loved it. And Joe was the Joe was the guy who used the cigarette with it.
Hey, so Chris Cooney's asking where you're from for that accent. I know where it is. So, tell
If
everybody.
I tell you South Florida, nobody would believe me. I'm down here 20 years, but I'm from Long Island, New York.
Long Island, yeah. I figured it. I called it out. My wife's from New York, and so yeah.
Yeah,
But
it creeps up on you.
well, good stuff, Anthony. You know, so we covered everything, man. We talked about your products. We talked about the medical benefits of it. Do you have anything else that you want to share with everybody?
Yeah, we're really close in Canada to getting it certified as a medical device. We've been so close. We have a couple of other factors. The next factor is going to be once we go to the nylon. It's gonna satisfy all the requirements.
All right.
Because what it needs to be that no mold can develop on it, and with the nylon that satisfies it. So I mean, it's so minute, it's not even countable, but the Department of Health wants it that way. Okay, it either needs to be a glass and it needs to be this type of nylon in order to be certified to be used medically, and that's where we're upgrading to.
All right. Well, that's good, man. You're keeping up with the Joneses. Bro.
But understand something now. If somebody wants to, okay, and they bought a pipe from me last year, they bought a pipe this year, they just bought a pipe from me last week, and we changed to these new things. The same thing. They can chassis swap, and when they do chassis swap, they will get the nylon.
Got you. Cool.
So you don't have to worry about, hey, you know, what if I want the nylon? Oh, you could just do a chassis swap. It'll cost you $100, you know, $120 with the shipping, and you're good to go.
Hell yeah, man. That's a pretty good deal, you know, and it helps to be able to upgrade your shit, you know, after you've already purchased it and you already love it, just to upgrade. I can appreciate that.
Yeah, because you're working. I mean, there's some guys who can't even live without it. They're like, dude, can you send me back like a loaner pipe, and then I could send you my pipe back? And I've done that before, you know, because the guys, look, I can't be without my medicine for 3-4 days. So that's what I've done. I'll put together like a demo unit, right, and put it together, send it to them. And then they send me back their pipe, and then I send it back, and then they send me back the demo. Or they'll just buy the demo to give it to somebody else.
That's what's up. That's pretty bitchin', man. Well,
yeah, I mean, a lot of times when somebody upgrades, this is what I usually do. I mean, when I upgrade, I usually supposed to take out your electronics and add more electronics and then put it to the big pipe. You know what I usually do? I usually take that same pipe that you turn it in, refurbish it, sell that one, and then just give you a brand new pipe altogether.
Got you.
I don't tell everybody that, but that's what I do.
Hey, so I'm reading something from Scott. He's talking about an e-nail. So you got a nail that goes on this for dabs?
Yeah. I had an e-nail that I was selling with it. You can get it. It's called the Yokan Rex. And that basically it'll fit the 14 millimeter and it will fit the 18 millimeter. And basically you can use any kind of e-nail with this. Anyone. So if you have, I have a guy out in Oklahoma that sells these and does demo. We call him Demo Doug. So he's always at those venues and he's always showing people, and he's got his e-nail hooked up to it. He's got an electronic e-nail hooked up to his banger, and then when he needs to use it, he just pours his product in it and it's done. So anything you can use with any kind of bong, you can use with this pipe.
Sweet, man.
Also another thing, if anybody has the Luca Seahorse Pro, it's got that little whip. That little whip fits right into our pipe.
Okay.
Right. Fits the 14 millimeter exactly. So you can dab and use that Luca Seahorse with this as well.
So what's this external puff assist?
Okay, that's the blower.
Oh, it's the blower. Okay,
yeah.
Gotcha.
The blower, when you see it on it, it's called the pull assist.
Okay.
Because it's going to assist you pulling, right? So that's why we call it the pull assist. That's what it stands for. But in essence, it's a blower.
Cool,
it's a fan. Yeah.
Well, that's pretty bitching. So with all that kind of information, man, let's let all these people resonate on this, man. I want to reach out and thank you, Anthony, for coming on here and expressing
my pleasure
your passions and explaining all your products, man. I really appreciate it. Guys, if you have any more questions, man, throw them out here real quick while I'm still talking. Yes, exactly, Chris. It does everything but roll the joint. Yeah, that's accurate, bro. All right, and so I got to do my little bit at the end, man. Guys, don't forget about the raffles or the waffles. And don't forget to tune in to the live giveaways, man. Okay, guys. Until then, Anthony, hang on for a second. I'll talk to you after this, man. I'm going to let everybody go and get back to their medication. Okay, guys, thank you for showing up tonight. And don't forget to ask questions, even if it's later. I will be answering them, and maybe Anthony can get up on in there.
Absolutely.
And answer some stuff, okay? So don't be afraid to answer or ask us some questions, all right? Okay, until next time, y'all, happy growing. All right, later, y'all.
Later.